A predator preys on others by victimizing, plundering, or destroying them for personal gain. Often, the concept of predation is confined to the animal kingdom, where humans believe themselves to be more civilized than this. However, predatory publishers exist in the scholarly realm of open access, and they display an intention to deceive authors and readers. These publishers can exploit people by making mock journals and charging significant publication fees for services that they do not provide. Being that some open access sources have been known to be predatory publishers, should people rely on open access sources for quality information? If so, how can they ensure that the information they read is reliable? Although predatory publishing is a growing trend in the cyber realm of open access publishing, open access sources can be utilized to acquire knowledge if they meet proper evaluation based on certain criteria. Initially, examples of predatory open access journals will be given, and this will be followed by examples of reliable open access journals. The methods to go about ensuring reliability in the information one obtains from open access journals will be subsequently explained. Bill's List was invented by Jeffrey Bill as a useful catalog of journals that claim to have genuine open access publishing, but seem to be questionable in this respect. In 2008, Bill was an academic librarian at the University of Colorado in Denver, and he began to be bombarded by emails strewn with grammatical errors that were asking him to become a part of various editorial review boards. This prompted Bill to become a watchdog for unreliable or predatory open access journals. One example of questionable open access occurred when a group of scientists were requested to present at a conference that they thought was a leading professional association. The conference they had been recruited for was Entomology 2013, not Entomology 2013. Not only were these scientists charged a substantial fee for presenting, but anybody who paid this fee was permitted to present. As opposed to leaving the conference having furthered their reputation in the scholarly world, the scientists left with empty pockets. A Duke University professor of reproductive endocrinology and fertility was asked to be on the review board of the Journal of Gynecology and Obstetrics. After agreeing, the journal repeatedly asked him to submit his own papers, and when the professor asked to be removed from the review board over a period of 3 years, the pleas were ignored. The professor was afraid his reputation would be tarnished in the scholarly realm, for although the professor did not review articles for the journal, his name remained on the review board list. Notably, there are some good open access journals that are not predatory. PLOS One is an example of one such journal. One sign of this is the depth of the scientific information contained on the website. Furthermore, the website allows full access to its advisory board, has the publisher listed, and has information dedicated to explaining the processes taken by the editorial review board to ensure that material is reliable. Review guidelines are explained in a video for people to watch, for PLOS One wants to ensure that it is viewed as a reliable open access source. It is obvious that all open access is not predatory, so this raises the question, how can people ensure that the information they read is reliable from open access sources? One way is to make sure that the journals are indexed in the directory of open access journals, which allows applicants to apply by filling out a form. Only the publishers of the journals can apply, which is important because it requires the publishers to be responsible for the information that they allow to be in their journals. Furthermore, one can look to see who is on the editorial board. If information is provided to contact members of the board, send a few emails to members to ask them about their involvement with the journal. Make sure to look at the journal's review guidelines for submitted material to ensure that unreliable and faulty information will be filtered out before publishing. This is important, for a sting operation was conducted by Science Magazine to measure the review process of open access journals. A manuscript written with flaws was accepted to over half of the 304 journals it was sent to, even though it contained information that made it completely unbelievable as a scientific contribution. Here are a few questions to keep in mind. 1. Is the journal affiliated with any universities? If so, this gives it more credibility. 2. Does the journal provide high-quality articles? Check for grammatical errors and the depth of the information provided to see if it seems accurate. 3. Who has previously written articles for the journal? If the authors are all from the same institution, then there may be ulterior motives. Although opponents may say the information obtained from open access journals is unreliable because of faulty review guidelines and untrustworthy publication methods, open access is indeed reliable if the right measures are taken to ensure that sources are dependable. In a predator-prey relationship in the animal kingdom, the ultimate victim is the one preyed upon. However, in the realm of open access, the ultimate victim is not the writers who submit the articles, but the reputation of open access itself. Portraying open access as limited to predatory publishing not only limits the publishers who seek to use it to benefit the world, but it also limits the knowledge that could be gained from relying on trustworthy open access sources. The question remains, will you help the prey escape the lion? Will you help open access escape the ruthlessness of predatory